Angela Merkel is on her way out after a long tenure as Germany's Chancellor, and she'll be remembered as a steady centrist voice in both European politics as well as on the world stage. And during her time, she really served as sort of a foil or contrast to the nationalist and more populist tides that swept a lot of Europe as well as the United States in the form of the Trump presidency.
And we want to talk a little bit about her legacy as one of the most powerful female leaders in the world. So just let's kick it off here and talk about what kind of legacy Chancellor Merkel is going to leave both in European politics and world politics.
Angela Merkel has been referred to as Europe's decider. She has been referred to as the most powerful woman in the world. And especially during the Trump era, she was seen as, sort of the de facto leader of the free world, given that the United States under Trump seemed to express skepticism about its role as sort of the traditional leader of the US-Europe alliance. Merkel made her name as a defender of refugees when the refugee crisis arrived in Europe a couple of years ago. And she also was known as sort of a hardliner on austerity and the Eurozone crisis that involved a lot of Southern Europe. But more recently, Merkel has had some questions surrounding her willingness to stand up to authoritarian governments in Russia and China. The Biden administration has made this a signature issue, and there are some questions about whether Merkel and Germany have been sufficiently tough on Russia and China, given Germany's strong economic ties to those countries and seeming hesitance to press those leaders in the same way that the United States is doing. And Anita, I want to ask you, what should we expect out of the Biden administration's reception of Merkel?
Yeah, it's a really interesting time for them to invite her over to the United States because obviously, as you just mentioned, she's leaving office. And so there are people that are saying, well, why is President Biden even inviting someone who's essentially a lame duck? And I think one of the reasons he is because Germany is so incredibly important to the United States as an ally.
Tell us a little bit about Biden's relationship with Merkel compared to her relationship with the past couple of US presidents.
Angela Merkel did not get along with President Trump at all. And he was very vocal about criticizing her and Germany for a lot of different things. You mentioned immigration, taking in refugees. He was very critical of that. He was very critical of Germany not putting in enough money on defense spending. That she and Republican George W. Bush got along pretty well. Initially, she and Barack Obama had some issues, but I think that they really kind of came together when they were looking at how to go against or fight back the aggression of Russia. And so they sort of, got together on that. So I think that President Biden has invited Chancellor Merkel to Washington basically to say we're resetting the relationship. She may be on her way out the door, but that Germany is still super important to the United States.
It seems like the big elephant in the room is the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. So tell us a little bit about what that is and why it's been a source of disagreement between Germany and the United States.
This is a pipeline that's making its way through Europe, and the United States is not a big fan of it. It believes that